We will kick off the evening session with a presentation by a veteran of India's journey as an entrepreneurial nation. He has been a true visionary and an architect of India's technological landscape. His illustrious career at Infosys, where he served as CFO and board member, helped propel the company to global prominence, but his reach extends far beyond a single corporation. As a venture capitalist and angel investor, he has nurtured countless startups, fostering a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem in India. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from this titan of Indian business. Please join me in a very warm welcome for Mr. Mohandas Pai.
Folks, thank you very much for inviting me. Very happy to be here. It's been many years since I come here. I'm happy to be here and talk to all of you. I'm going to talk about India as a startup nation and tell you the India story. What is India? 1.4 billion people, 0.8% population growth. Fertility is 2. We don't have a population problem. We have an aging problem. We are 130 million people above the age of 60. By 2030, we'll have 200 million people above the age of 60. The biggest challenge for the world is an aging population. Today, 25% of humanity is shrinking. China, Japan, Korea, Italy, Russia, etc. And people say the Chinese population of 1.45 billion will be 535 million by 2100. And that is indeed a big worry. And India will be aging too. We are $3.6 trillion in GDP. That's very impressive, the fifth largest in the world. This year will be $4 trillion, 95% probability. And I believe by 2029, will be $6 to $6.5 trillion. So the most exciting growth in the next 5 years is going to be in India. We have $14 trillion in PPP, third largest in the world. The Indian currency is undervalued. The economy is undervalued. We have 14 trillion, and it's a very, very large economy. Per capita income is very poor, $2,500 nominal. In PPP, we are about maybe $7,000 to $8,000, and we are 17% of humanity. I wish the world remembers China, India, 35% of humanity and make up 1/3 of the world. Import-exports make up 50% of India's GDP, and that is pretty good. We have $650 billion of reserves today. We built up reserves for the last many years. We're in a strong shape. We don't borrow outside in dollars for the government, and even those who borrow in dollars is pretty small, $645 billion. And the only problem we have with the fiscal is that we have a very large quantum of revenues going to pay interest because we borrowed in the past. Now, if you look at this slide between 1991 and 2024, it's important because we got freedom in 1947. Ursa Patnaik of Columbia University wrote, the British took away $45 trillion of money, of wealth, in today's money value from 1757 to 1947. So we are not a poor country. Throughout history, India has been a very rich country, impoverished by colonial domination. You folks know it here in Oxford. And that's history and reality. That's okay. You see, in 1947, we became free. In 1950, we gave a constitution. In 1947, we became free. We were the richest country in Asia because China was destroyed in the war, Southeast Asia destroyed in the war, Japan destroyed in the war. We had 1.5 billion pounds debt from Great Britain, which, of course, the currency got devalued. We lost a lot of it. And out of the 5 richest families in Asia, 3 were Indian. And we brought in price control. We brought in license quota Raj and ruined our future for 30 years. And we suppressed private capital. Economic freedom is very, very important for a country to grow. And between 1950 to 1980, we grew 3.5%. World grew at 4.5%. Asia grew 6.5%. We became poorer in 80 than 1950. 80 to 90, we grew at 5.5%. Population grew at 2.25%. Our debt grew from 20 billion to 80 billion. And we were broke in 91. We opened up in 91 when we had $5 billion of foreign exchange. And when we opened up, the magic started. GDP, when we opened up, was 275 billion. It's grown to about 3.6 trillion in 2024. That's 8.1% a year in dollar terms for 33 years. 33 years, every single year. The only country done better than us that time is China, which has grown around 9.5, 10%. And that is wonderful. Both these countries have done extremely well. And we don't consume so much of carbon like people say to be. 1/10 of what the US citizen consumes. So I think we've got to give a break to us and ask us to consume a little bit more to get a share in the world. We've seen export-import growing. We save 30% of GDP. We invest about 31%. We invest $1 trillion a year in capex. $250 billion by the government, about $500 billion by the private sector, and the rest by private citizens. We make $1 trillion of investment. I think there are only two other countries which do more than $1 trillion, the United States and China. You can see China and India. China's population declined by 2 million last year. Population is actually declining in number. Life expectancy higher. Female, life expectancy higher, literacy is higher. When Mao took over in 1949, he said, women hold up half of heaven. He educated China's women. We didn't educate our women for many years. Literacy in 1991 was 41%. We didn't have primary health for the first 40 years. We didn't invest in primary education or, literacy. Gandhiji would have made sure that every young person in India in 47 would have gone on to start village schools and give literacy to our people. We didn't do that. We made many mistakes. We're still suffering the consequences today. Now, if you look at GDP growth in PPP, China is number 1 in the world, 36 trillion. United States number 2, 26. India is number 3. China is the largest exporter, largest importer, largest foreign currency reserves. But are we going to be a China? No. There'll never be a China again, in my opinion. India will follow our own path. It's a very difficult path. We are a very vibrant democracy. 960 million people are eligible to vote. 670 million people voted. The greatest exercise in democracy throughout the world history happened in India recently. And the people of India are very wise. They know what they want. They will vote for the government of their choice. They'll bring to power the people they want. They will vote out whom they don't want. And democracy works irrespective of what a small group of people in Sweden think of India. And Sweden is such a small country. It doesn't matter, because when you're funded by Soros, you can make any statement that you want. Because, but India is a vibrant democracy. We got 29 states. We got about 100 political parties. Ask Minister Jayant Sinha, he'll tell you how tough it is. And people are very, very demanding. And democracy works. He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning. He has 100 people outside his door when he's MP asking for many things. And he has to work 24/7. It's a very tough, 300. And very tough job. So, India and China at a glance. We are where China was in 2002. Yes, we will grow in the future. GDP growth 8.2% last year. This year, 24-25 will be 7.2, the highest among all the G20 countries. We could be at 8%. 7.2 is an underestimate right now. And this is an important slide. This decade will see the shift of economic power from the OECD to the emerging markets. Because Europe and the OECD will grow around 3%, 2.2%. They have deep problems. The emerging markets will grow faster. World will grow at 3%. And the savings are still in the OECD and the developed countries, but growth will be in the emerging markets. And this is leading to geopolitical tension all around the world as economic power shifts. But it's going to take a long time to see the emerging markets have a much higher GDP. And there are going to be multi problems because of high debt and many things else, which I'm sure you'll study. There's something from the IMF about India's growth. Now look at this. India is a big economic power. 143 million tons of steel, second largest in the world after China. China has 1.1 billion. 423 million tons of cement. China has 2.2 billion tons. And nobody else after us. Two-wheelers, 21 million. Four-wheelers, 5.2 million vehicles sold every year, including trucks. 1 million trucks sold every year. It's the fourth largest in the world. And I think we should be the third. I think we've overtaken Japan. And of course, construction, it should be 1.6 million square feet every single year. IT is $275 billion. Electricity, third largest. And then, of course, mobile phones, second largest after China. Coal, 1 billion tons. Well, we are coming off coal. It's going to take some time because we need for base load. Iron ore, second largest. Third largest. Aviation, Aditya is here. Aditya's earlier airline now has 100 million passengers. In 5 years, there'll be 200 million passengers. Right, Aditya? You're going to fly every Indian in the Hawaii Jawaj, in the Hawaii Slipper, right? And you're going to do it at a cost everybody can afford, right? And then railways, fourth largest, roadways, ports.
In 2006, there were 18 million customers total in a year. Now there'll be over 220 million customers.
220 million customers. So, and then food, 329 million tons of food grains every year. India's productivity in growing is maybe 60% of China, 50% of China. We could be double that. We could feed half the world and the second largest food producer in the world. We have the largest free food scheme in the world. 800 million people get free grains in India, and that's wonderful. Milk, we are the largest milk producer in the world, largest milk producer. And of course, cotton, largest, horticulture, second largest after Brazil, sugar, largest, spices, largest, cropland, the largest cropland. Undivided India from Peshawar to Dhaka had the largest fertile area the world has ever seen for any civilization, with abundant water. That's why India was a very rich country. And livestock, 536 million. They have fundamental rights under the Constitution. They walk all over the streets, all over the country, and we love that. Strong financial base. Our stock exchange is more than 145, 150 years old, 5,500 listed companies, $5 trillion of market capitalization, $550 billion companies. $550 billion companies. Around 1870 or somewhere, there was a big problem in Bombay. Time bargains in cotton expired. The gentleman called Premchand Roychand. You might have heard of him. And Premchand Roychand had speculation because the American Civil War ended, price of cotton had gone up, and the Bank of Bombay, which became the State Bank of India, went bust. Their shareholders got 25 paise to a rupee. So we knew what to do option trading for a long period of time. A currency is a bill of exchange. We had a bill of exchange called Hundi for more than 2,000 years. So we are big traders all around the world. FDI flows have been coming in. Our mutual fund yesterday, Minister, overtook the FPI AUM for the first time ever. Just yesterday. That means the entire AUM of the mutual fund industry is larger than the foreign investors' AUM. Median age, 28 years. Japan is 49. Europe is 42, 40.3. Yesterday I was in Paris, and I met my French friend who works at a very large investment firm, and he said he came back home to Paris. He saw only senior citizens all around him in Paris. Aging is a problem. I mean, I'm senior too. You can feel it. Aging is a problem. And when people age and we don't have enough people to work, young people to work to pay their pension, especially when you have pay as you earn, you are in deep, deep trouble. That's going to be the biggest challenge for the developed countries all around. World population by 2100 will still have a young population, while the rest of the world ages. India is the only country in the world which can provide human capital to the entire world of an exceptional quality. 750,000 Indian students studying outside will go up to 1.5 million. We can, of course, send maybe 5-10 million people every year to help the world revive their economies. Right, Minister? They're good people. And we are producing a large number of formal jobs. You read stories about jobless growth. Jobless growth cannot happen when the economy grows 7%. 1.6 million young people got into what is called the EPFO, where they have an Aadhaar number, they paid a subscription, is real data. Data is coming out for 75 months every single month, and of them, 20% are women, and in the age group of 18 to 25 is nearly 50%. So jobs are being created, but the number of people in agriculture is 45% of the workforce of about 575 million. So we've got to get people off the land. And during COVID, actually 45% has remained stagnant for 5 years. So we've got to get them off the land because they can't make a living in agriculture, transition them to industry and services over time. So we have a large challenge ahead. And Minister Jai Sinha has done wonderful work as a minister to tackle this problem. This is the biggest change in the world. We are in the midst of the digital revolution. 15 years ago, an important thing happened, the rise of the internet. Internet is a platform where you can interact synchronously, asynchronously, 24/7. We lived in the world which was the industrial revolution era, where the global supply chain was created by those winners, especially Europe, which won the industrial revolution. And this supply chain controlled the consumer because it built the supply chain from the producer to the consumer, to shipping, to pipelines, to retail, wholesale, etc. Now, that advantage that you had is coming down because you're on the internet. And the internet, you can interact with each other. So distance is not a problem. Geography is not a handicap. All you need is a mobile phone and a cheap data plan, which is available for you. And you can reach out to the internet. You can get entertainment, education, health services, financial services, and you can do business and commerce. And that's going to change all business models. And I'll show you some data. 5.6 billion people in January were having a mobile phone, 5.5 billion people today on the internet. The world has come to digital revolution. And the next 5 years with AI, quantum computing, hypercloud, robotics, and humanoids, and all the nice stuff, you're going to see a very different world. And the world is going to change faster in the next 5 years than the previous 20 years. And the market is speaking. The market is good. It creates wealth for everybody. $3 trillion of market value for Apple. Who heard of $3 trillion? $3 trillion. Money has no value at all. 3 trillion. NVIDIA, 3 trillion. Microsoft, 3 trillion. Man, no. I wish we had a lot of these stocks between billionaires. And look at the top 10 companies. I think 8 of them are digital companies. So you're getting a message from the market. The future is digital. The future is the digital revolution. The most profitable companies, large number are digital companies. Apple is $100 billion. The Chinese banks are still there. We don't know their assets quality, but they're still making money. On the right-hand side, you've seen how they've grown. Fangman makes up about 35% of the S&P poor value. If you remove Fangman in the US, the rest of the market has not grown the last 5 years. And these are extraordinary companies. And this, for those of you who want social action, is the biggest threat to humanity. I'll explain that as we go along. The US rules the world's cloud. Most of the cloud capacity is the US. Your data, my data resides in the US. The US NSA has access to the data. They know what we do, what we think, what we eat, what we're going to do tomorrow. They can do analytics to control our minds. In the Indian election, many of them try to control voting by running fake images and all kind of stuff. The most dangerous thing in the planet is all these happenings with the giant digital companies which are largely American. And as people, we need a universal declaration of of digital rights. 1948, with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which changed the world. Now, we need a universal declaration of digital rights to make sure every single individual on the planet has data which is protected and which the data owns. Minister Jayant Sinha worked on the data protection bill to create data sovereignty, to make sure the data belongs to you and me, and to make sure nobody can take the data without a permission, and to make sure that we have a redressal against the global tech monopolies. Global tech monopolies are the biggest threat to humanity. And I wish those of you who want to be activists, who want to work social sector, please take it up. This cause is very, very large, and you will save humanity at a manner nobody has done before. The EU is an aging digital colony. EU created the Industrial Revolution. The EU is not there in the digital revolution. There are only 3 countries, United States, China, and India. And the United States and India are joined at the hip and working together. The US is the force multiplier for the United States, which I'll explain. But the EU is not there. EU is lost out. The very serious issue. We need European companies. Name one digital large European company. We only have SAP in technology. It's not digital yet. Name anything else. It's really sad. We need innovation in Europe. We need more funding for young people. We need more startups. We need more innovation. We need more growth. And we need that in a very big way because Europe has to play its role to save the world and save the future, like all of you want to do. Big tech outspends to maintain monopolies. The old monopoly era, AT&T and Microsoft and Standard Oil, is all gone. We knew how to handle the monopolies. These monopolies, we don't know. The EU is making laws, which is very good, but those laws are inhibiting innovation. They're hurting young innovators. And I think that's very important for us to understand. You've got to control the big companies, but not hurt innovators. Monopolies are not encumbered by geographical borders. Earlier, you were a monopoly, you've got to set up an office. You got a ship. Now, in a monopoly, you are digital. You're there in the platform. Everybody can access. If you shut it out like the Chinese Great Wall, you have a satellite phone. And you are there. You get access. Just imagine this world. And who are running this world? The new normal, global tech conglomerates. Apple, 2 billion people on iOS. Alphabet on the technology. Android, we got 4.5 billion people. And Amazon has got all your data. And look at this data. Please see this. This is the big danger. 2 American companies dominate the digital world. Mobile operating system, Android and iOS. Internet search, Google, 92%. You must have studies in the State Business School about digital global monopolies. 92% of global markets. Meta, 79%. Cloud, Microsoft, Amazon. Digital advertising, Meta and Google. All American companies. It's the largest digital economy in the world, most innovative society, $2.3 trillion of money spent on technology startups from 2014 till 2024. This is huge. Nobody can match the Americans except the Chinese, and the Chinese are behind the wall. The future areas of competition are transversal technologies, 2 or 3 technologies coming together, right? IoT competing on the edge with artificial intelligence and biotechnology, artificial intelligence and genomics. And these are coming together in a fantastic way to change the world. And we're going to see this growth happening. And you folks should work on this area. There's great areas for you to come and apply your skills that you learn in the school here. Tech is now the lattice of human evolution. Exponential organization, old data, Airbnb, see the J curve. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Largest hotel company. And see how they did it. Exponential organization. Foxconn are automating. Foxconn has 1.1 million young Chinese girls working for them, 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, put up in a hostel next to the plant. They went to the boss and told the boss, I want a salary raise. He said, what do you want? Work-life balance, salary raise. 50,000 girls getting replaced by 50,000 robots every year. So if you're in HR, somebody comes to you for a raise, well. I was in HR, so pardon me. Because robots now have dexterity in the fingers. They never had this dexterity. Now they can lift and do that assembly, do all kind of work. And robots work 24/7. They don't ask for work-life balance. They don't ask for leave, no holidays, nothing. Just imagine. And robots can do 60% of human activity. They can also teach you. And AI will be teaching you very soon. You'll have an more AI learning from that AI. And what are you going to do? I don't know. Maybe go row in the river here. Adidas bought back a shoe factory from China. It does a new shoe in 15 days because you can just press a button and you are 3D printing making the shoes. Additive manufacturing is taking over. About 30% of manufacturing will be additive manufacturing by 2030. And this is enormous. We went to a shoe sole factory in the valley before COVID. It's amazing, 1,500 machines making the shoe soles 24/7. And you can design what you want. And then no supply chain. Keep it in somewhere. You design in Bangalore, press a button, it prints in 8 countries and distributes locally. Just imagine the power of technology. It's happening, it's happening. Raytheon is creating the exoskeleton to create human skill. Iron Man is going to come. They're going to help construction, do all the heavy lifting. And then robotics. Look at Atlas. Robots can run 60 kilometers an hour. They can do a backflip, lies on the land. They can handle, they can spot, they can lift, they can do many things, draw a cart and everything else. This is amazing. They're all coming to market. A Japanese friend told me that the cost of robots has come down by 60% over the last 10 years. My friend went to China, a factory 1 kilometer deep, half a kilometer across, dark. He said, is nobody working? He said, everything is working, all robots. No human beings, no light. It's all mathematics. Then you finish something, then it goes out a ship, put into a truck, and the truck drives by itself. Where, I don't know, somewhere I guess. Implant chips. They'll put chips into your head. So your security, you can pass through, you can be checked. People are doing it in some countries. Then Neuralink. Can you control the brain? The brain has 82 billion neurons with weak electrical current. They intersect with each other, and that is what memory is. That is what you connect. That's what you get intuition. When they connect the wrong way, you get intuition and the stroke of brilliance, right? And you come with innovation. But you can put a chip, and you can communicate from the brain to devices and control devices. For people who are not physically able to move, there's something that's happening. Elon Musk has done that for human beings. I don't know where it's going to end. But, designer babies. Can you change the DNA of a baby in the womb? They're trying. China is supposed to have done it because they want certain characteristics in the DNA because babies could have certain diseases inherited. You can do a better world. Or also you can make sure that you get a super baby. I don't want to crack a joke which you might find offensive, but So CRISPR is a technology by which you can do gene editing. And this is very, very dangerous. We don't want superhuman beings, the Frankensteins, to be born, but technology will go on. Now, 25 years later, can energy be free? Yeah, We'll have solar all over. We'll have wind 24/7. There'll be, solar farms all over the world, and they'll transmit energy throughout. And then we'll have nuclear fusion. I think next year a nuclear fusion plant is going live in France. Maybe in 10 years, a nuclear fusion, 50 megawatts plants all over. Nuclear fusion is easier than nuclear fission, and I think that could work and create unlimited energy. And that's something that could come. Is it science fiction? No. We are closer. Money is going in, and it could happen, but we're going to have solar and wind. And today, I think the EU is running on solar and wind and alternate energy for 3-4 months altogether. Even the UK is doing that, and UK is leading the way. Congratulations to all of you. And I think that's fantastic. Expertise will be free. The robots and humanoids are going to teach our children, are going to teach us, they're going to converse with us, they're going to do our housework, they'll be nice to us, and they'll be our company. Do we still need human beings? Of course. But just imagine, I'm a robo, you're a robo. Fantastic, isn't it? No homework, no late hours, no nothing. The robo sitting there is taught by this robo here, and that robo writes the exam and does your work, is your own robo. It earns money, and you get money in the bank. Labor will be free, because mundane tasks will be done by robots, and robots will be very cheap. The question is, what are human beings going to do? I don't know. You've got to think about it, do some research, and write some case studies. The future of humanity in a robotic world. Travel will be faster and autonomous. Mach 3, Mach 4, autonomous vehicle driving by themselves, all green, sustainability. Sustainability will be achieved by technology. It's going to happen. It's happening. It's going to happen again. Every human being will be a programmer. You just come and do some code, speak to it, and you can do what you want. You know how to control all the nice stuff, right? Coding will be very easy. You don't require to have an engineering degree. You don't require to study. You don't require to do anything. Do some simple task, and you can do what you want. Is it a dream? There's a great probability it's going to happen. And you people are going to make it happen. All of you in this room. As entrepreneurs, as business people, strategists, during your lifetime. AI agents will spam the internet because there'll be more AI agents, 10 times human beings on the internet. They're going to respond to you. They're going to do everything that you want. They'll write songs for you. They will teach you languages. They'll do everything for you. It's already happening in a big way. Wars will be fought with AI and robots. Will they be fought physically with AIs? It'll be fought playing games. Presidents of various countries will fight wars with each other playing games. And they'll have an army of young people playing those games to see who is going to be a winner. No bloodshed. And they'll send robots in the battle to fight it out. Interesting, isn't it? Star Wars coming alive. Just imagine. Creators and grammars will be AI first. They're going to create their own video. They're going to create their own narrative, everybody. They're going to be unlimited number of TV channels. I don't know who is going to watch them. They'll have bots watching them and doing it. Like they do it now. I don't know how you can have 4 million people on Twitter and have 2 million people, see the tweet. I just don't know. It must be bots, isn't it? I got 685,000. And I get maybe 300,000 when I make a nice tweet against Rajiv Sardesai or somebody like that. Otherwise, nobody follows. Humans and machines will integrate. You sit in front of a machine and you think, and the machines will obey you all over. It's fantastic. Panditji, you don't have to give a talk anymore. You just have to sit down there and start thinking, and the talk will come.
I have a bot doing it for me already.
Health will improve with daily augmentation. Can you regenerate your cells, body cells? Because remember, science says, if I'm right, from the age of 30, you have less cells in your body than you had before. That's when degeneration starts. I remember seeing Tendulkar at 34 when he plays his trifle shot. And I saw Rahul Dravid get bowled 4 times, but in bat and ball when he went to Australia on his last tour. A trifle slow. Sehwag, who used to be so fast, trifle slow, because the body cells have come down in count and you're just not fast enough. And, can you regenerate by pumping in stem cells or doing whatever it is? I think it could work. And everybody live up to be 120 years. That is supposed to be the human span. 120 years. What are we going to do for 120 years? With no work. I don't know. Watch movies? Dull. Converse? Dull. Play games? Boring. What are you going to go for long walks? Maybe. Interstellar space journeys? Yes. Exciting. I don't know. You got to think about it. India is the next large theater of tech-driven value captures. Remember this well. India is where the action is. Digitization is transforming India. 1.4 billion people, 1.2 billion mobile phones, 1.1 billion people on the smartphone, 900 million people on the internet, consume 28 GB of data. Enormous. The biggest market out of China, biggest market in the free world. India's internet, data price is so cheap. They start giving it away soon, free of cost. Every second person has internet. 80% have internet now. 26 GB of data. Consumer-led digital leap. You can see the time spent online is increasing. US is the leader. We are coming behind. Social media hours, online video hours, e-commerce, etc. Consumer-led digital leap. YouTube, largest base are Indians. Amazon, Indians. You've got to have Indian viewers and Indian eyeballs and American revenues. You're going to be a winner. You get large number of people, and you get American dollars. Indian rupees cost. Fantastic. Startup system will create a $10 trillion economy for India by 2032, 2033 by enhancing the velocity of business and productivity. 138,000 startups, 23,000 funded, third largest in the world, $550 billion of value created. It is big, very, very big. See the numbers. While you people are doing your master's, PhD, everything here in many exotic subjects, Indians are working hard, creating wealth and growing the economy back home. To keep everything warm for you, so you elitist people can come back to India and earn $500,000 just talking to them with an Oxford accent. Pick up the accent, okay? It works. India is the largest software service industry in the world. We export $215 billion of software. We have 5.7 million people employed. And of the top 10 software service companies by market value globally, 5 are Indian. Of the top 5, 3 are Indian. Of the 3.2 million employees in the top 10, 2.3 million are Indians. America has 6 million software people. 1 million are Indians there. Out of this 5.7 million, 60% work for American companies. Out of 10 million working for American companies globally in software, 4 million are Indians. 50% of global hiring for software in the free world is Indian. 2 years back, we had 500,000 people in technology. My city of Bangalore has 1.12 million people, 11 million vehicles, about 2.3 million people work in technology, $80 billion of software exports, 60,000 IT companies, 20,000 startups, 45 unicorns. And everybody talks about chip technology. Bangalore has 350,000 people in chip design, chip testing, and embedded software, the largest collection of chip design, fabless technology people in the world. More than Taiwan, more than China. It's enormous what is happening in that country. And when the chip industry opens up, it's going to be India which is going to be there. On top of that, we have the startups. By 2025, I think it will be 300,000 startups the way we're going. Not all have got money. Remember that, 23,000 funded, okay? The young people who are enthusiastic, who are innovators, who are putting a proposal, registered, they have to go raise capital. We don't have enough capital. So all of you can start funds and giving them capital to change the world. They'll change the world, just give them some money. So we'll have 250 unicorns by 2026. India exports more software than Saudi Arabia exports oil. We got 575 million working people, 5.7 work, 1% work, and they produce more software than Saudi Arabia oil. We have the brain power to export. We have a trade deficit in goods of 270 billion, surplus in service of 200 billion. And somebody says in 3 years' time, Minister, surplus in service will equal deficit in goods. Then the currency will become, stronger. Startup raised $146 billion of capital from 2014 to 23, December. We have all this. Bangalore is the place to be. There's a city called Hyderabad somewhere there, no? Can you see it on the map here? Bangalore, Mumbai, and Delhi. They're the 3 big centers, okay? We talk so much of Hyderabad. Good place, nice place. Babu has come back, but he's in Andhra now. He doesn't have Hyderabad anymore. So I think this large number, 114 unicorns. We got about 300 unicorns. When the checks start coming in from America, with the interest rates come down, we're going to get 250 unicorns the next 2 years. It's going to happen. Unless you people start sending checks home. Please do. Because remember, we invested $146 billion in 10 years. China, 832. and 2.3 trillion America. People say Indians are not innovative. Indians don't know what to do. They're poor people stuck in the past. Not true. Of the top 50 digital companies in America, 25 have Indian CEOs. How did they come up? They're hungry. They're innovators. They rule. And we got a lot more of them in India, not wanting to go, of course. But they want capital. We're short of capital, Minister. You must raise 100 billion for us in 5 years and give us the money. Now, this is some VCs are generated above AJ returns. You can see it later. Value creation, has happened. 3 years back, we got 42 billion, then 25 billion. Last year, 12 billion. This year, we're already seeing $1 billion a month. You got to put in more money, Bhaiya. Huh? Value creation, we hope to be 1.5 trillion in this area in value by 2026. We want one wave of big checks coming. Masa used to come to India and create 10 unicorns by giving checks. The poor guy has not been doing that for 2-3 years. You got to meet him and talk to him when you go to Tokyo. Indians are innovative. 6,300 AI startups. Every kid is starting an AI startup in Bangalore. 2,000 IoT startup, AR, VR, robotics startup. So AI has become horizontal for everybody, de rigueur. Everybody is doing it. What they're doing, I don't know. At least they're saying they're taking AI. I'm sure they're doing something. They're using some tool or something like that. Because if you want money, you don't say your AI first, you won't get money. Digital platforms. Everybody is using the digital platforms. India has done well. And this is important. The greatest transformation of people in human history happened in the last 10 years under Prime Minister Modi and Minister Jai Sinha. Almost every Indian has got a roof over the head, water in the tap, power in the switch, toilet in the house, a gas stove, a bank account, money in the bank, health insurance, food on the table, and education for children. Deprivation has come down tremendously in India, but expectations have gone up. So we have people promising money into the bank, takatak, takatak, takatak. But nobody knows where the money is going to come from. Certainly, Minister Sinha doesn't have that kind of money. So I think that's a problem. But look at this. Unbelievable change. It could only happen by technology. You must ask him how he did it. He was the heart of it. He was the innovator in that government. And he used technology. He gave a loan to about 40 million people to build houses, all through GPS, and it came to the bank account. Modi presses a button, about 9 crore farmers, the 90 million farmers get money in the bank in 5 seconds. Unbelievable things are happening. Be proud of your country. If somebody says India is not innovative, blah, 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 just laugh at them and look away. Doesn't matter. Digital media is mainstream, 28 GB of data being consumed. India constitutes YouTube's biggest user base. Everybody sees YouTube videos, a lot of fake videos there, but they see it all the time. E-commerce is growing fast, new demographics in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. Tier 2 and beyond will be the dominant engine because goods are available there, everything is available because you're in the virtual world. I must tell you this story. When India banned Chinese apps in India after the Galwan, suddenly we discovered 62% of our digital territory is occupied by China. See, the world knows how to defend physical boundaries. They don't know how to defend the digital territory. And the data was going to China. We banned it. Because the government of India begins in banning things when things don't work. It works 20% of the time, otherwise it hurts. But they banned it, but now innovation came up from India. But 62%, we've got to be careful of a digital territory. Your national sovereignty is in danger everywhere in the world. B2B commerce inflection point. India Stack is the greatest piece of innovation in technology in the last 10 years, done by volunteers in Bangalore, and Minister played a great role in making it happen. It has got multiple layers, open data store, UPI for money transfer, Aadhaar, eKYC, digital locker, etc. We opened 550 million accounts, bank accounts in about 4 years. 550 million bank accounts, more than the population, I think, of adults in the EU. It happened, and money went to the bank. There's about $35 billion of money in all the account today in deposits. All of them are poor people who live on less than $1,500 a year. But they got a bank account, they do UPI because of the jam trinity. And at the cost, it's taken 12, 13 years. It's not been hard work. And I remember ministers supporting us all the while, done by volunteers in Bangalore. Along with him, he went to the Reserve Bank of India, went to government, and he got it done in the ministry. It's very tough to bring reforms, Minister. You did it. And he sanctioned a 10,000 crore startup fund for India. Here's the man. That set off the AIF industry that has helped create 2,500 fund managers in India over the last 10 years. We got 1,300 AIs today. World-class products are being built. If you're a young person who wants to start a company, now you can take a laptop, you got free data in the cloud, and you can use all the data in this India stack and start a company. Voila. Try doing it in the UK or America. No data. It works here in India because all of them have become public utilities. They're called digital public infrastructure under innovation by minister. Impact of the India stack, turnaround time to open a bank account is come down, open a mutual fund to come down. Mutual funds are being opened at a huge rate. We got more than 120 million people. India has gone from data poor to data rich. We have possibly the largest database for everything in the free world. China has got more. China is doing something else which you can discover. You should discover and write about it. But we're not doing that. India's banking system, top class, very low NPA, huge profits and capital being created. Only small, $2.4 trillion are deposits, $1.9 trillion, 126,000 branches. 550 million accounts open in the last 5 years. Now we got neobanks on top of this. Somebody was telling fintech, we got neobanks. Neobanks are a set of apps which sit on top of a bank account, takes all the data from 5-6 banks, consolidates, gives you a one-point view. And over time, what they're going to do is use all your data and go to people who give loans and ask them to bid for your loan. Because today, banks hold all your data. They own the data, not you. Now, minister has helped release the data for me. So I'll be free to go to anybody, operate with one bank, go to free to anybody and ask for a loan. They don't give it somebody else in the line because I got data. Digital payments, 7.99 billion to 16 billion in 2 years. Share of digital, 88% of payments are digital. I have not written a check for how many years? Of course, I don't transfer money. Somebody in my office does it, but we don't sign checks anymore. Checks. And I can transfer money on the mobile in 15 minutes. You go to a rural area, there's a woman selling vegetables, 5 different kinds of vegetables, 5 different grammages. She's got the UPI there, and you just tell her, and she's got the UPI, send the money. And in Bombay and big cities, in my cities, women do that. The mamu used to come and ask for the daily money. He said, "Mere paas cash nahi hai." And the mamu has become, "Sir, mere paas UPI hai. Bejo paisa." And in the court in North India, there was this doorkeeper. They have this funny thing of putting up cases by clerk. Just sits here, clerk here. So, you got to pay him 100 rupees. He puts up the case. But, there's a darwan there with a, QR code here. And sadly, it came on the internet. And then he was sacked. Study rise to no cash, 13.44 billion monthly UPI transaction. Last year, 100 billion transactions happened. $250 billion being transferred, no cost. No cost means the banks are paying the cost because minister makes sure the banks make no money. Minister said the people of India are very important, free of cost, right, minister? I don't think he likes it, but he's a good capitalist, but he had to do it for the people. India is a leader in real-time payments. 42% of global real-time payments happen in India. China is behind. UK is somewhere down there. Yeah, somewhere there, yes. Credit without fiction is something that we want. New digital public infrastructure is India's solution to the world. And consented data exchange, account aggregator. That means there'll be a person who is registered, regulated, who will aggregate all your data, and the data can be given to financial service providers. This is a regulated business. This is a schematic. And look at the numbers, very large numbers. Consented data exchange. How do you exchange data? That when minister's law comes to parliament and they approve, data is mine. Meta cannot use it. But I can give Meta the right to use, they give me money, send me some cool dollars. But how do I do it? I do it to the data exchange. OCEN is for credit. ONDC, how do you get the mom and pop shops into the digital era? You go to ONDC by which you register, and once you register, you come on the portal of Amazon, you come on the portal of Walmart, Flipkart, and all that, and you can do business. This is a schematic. We got a health stack. 375 million people enjoy free medical insurance in India. 75 million people got their free thing done. And there's no waiting list. Just go to hotel, go to the hospital, they admit you. No waiting list. And India has got 105,000 doctors' seats. We produce 60, 70,000 doctors a year. 250,000 nurses. We are short of nurses because they're going all around the world. But we're going to produce a human capital to take care of the world's health in the next 10 years. And we got this national health stack. We'll have the largest database of the human condition in 5 years' time. And very soon, government is going to allow startups to access that. Right, Minister? I mean, when you are there, you're talking about it. I hope it happens now. UPI moment in healthcare. Now, I'm very fond of him because I worked with him, and he's a hero to me. Open protocols, Indian technology, get open protocol, not owned by anybody, by a public utility, because we don't want digital global monopolies. Because monopolies can destroy, can stifle innovation, like in other countries. They're all owned by a public authority. It's free of cost. Somebody is paying for it, but innovation is coming up. Number of years. Speed of change is going to be rapid. Pokemon, 19 days for 50 million users. Arogya Setu, 13. That Meta app for Twitter-like thing, 2 days. Rise of Indian tech conglomerates, like Baba and Tencent, we are going to have our own tech conglomerate. They're still working on it. It's going to take a bit of time. Tatas are trying to do the same thing. They take time. They're good people. And Indians are creating unicorns globally. 90 unicorns have Indian founders in the US. 44% of unicorn founders in the US are not US born, of which India has got the largest share. Go to America, become a unicorn. Come to the UK, become a unicorn. Become a billionaire. That should be your ambition. Once you get $1 billion, you can spend the money to change the world. Or you become a billionaire, then hire all these young, bright graduates who are going to walk the street to change the world and pay them good money. You decide what option you want. Indians are increasing the growth of value globally. Look at all these people. Brilliant minds. A lot of them are left behind. It's not that the best have gone. And you can see them. Number of billionaires by country. We're getting a lot of billionaires. People give us flag. Poor country billionaires. What is wrong? We want every Indian to be a billionaire. Become a billionaire. It's a free country, free markets. They pay the taxes. Become a billionaire. Nothing wrong. All of you should aim to become billionaires. But spend the money to improve the world. That is your buddhi. India now. Look at 1,450 unicorns. United States, China, India. UK is still there. Yes. This is good, isn't it? India ranks 3rd in global unicorn rankings. Confidence in your innovator. We got a billionaire innovator of a company, $1 billion company. He stays in a rural village, wears a panche and a shirt, and is doing great innovation. He rides a cycle in auto rickshaw. He's a nice guy, Sridhar Vembu. You must call him once to speak about it in his dhoti, okay? Call him next time and listen to him, how he did the innovation, what he thinks is. Population scale opportunities, okay. A robust foundation to enable innovative solutions for India's problem. India's young people are becoming innovative. They're changing India. They're going to change the world. We see huge growth happening in this country. And we're empowering problem solvers. Startups with the force multiplier in the country to become a $10 trillion economy. After we reach that, we'll aim for 20. Thank you very much. Questions? Ask me any question you want. Yes, I mean, you're going to moderate? 2 minutes, 2 questions. Okay, yeah. Quickly. Yes, yeah, tell me.
Yes, so I just have a question about the fact that you talk so much about technology. What do you think is the next industry that's ripe for big innovation in India using technology? And
Manufacturing.
What manufacturing though? Like
Manufacturing across the board. Yes. Because AI is going to be a horizontal, robotics is going to be a horizontal, 3D printing is going to be a horizontal.
Thank you.
Yes, Panditji. Then we'll have a lady. Yeah, Panditji, yes. He is a conscience keeper, so you need conscience. No? We're all capitalists, need a conscience. Yes, Panditji.
You painted such a wonderful picture of this Bharatiya super digital highway. And some of us, like you say, look for the potholes on this super highway.
There are.
The top 5 GDP countries that you keep mentioning, that's a league table for another statistic as well. As we go up those ranks, the statistic I'm concerned about is that we have the highest rate of mental health, we have the highest rate of suicides in the West in each of those 5 GDP league leaders. What are we doing? What are we bringing to the market to prevent us joining that terrible league table?
We being 17% of humanity, we represent all the ills of humanity everywhere. We are no exception. God didn't create India alone, or Indians. We're going to have all of them, large numbers. And hopefully we'll start solving through technology and otherwise. But we've got to take care of that. We need more conscience keepers who will remind us of the need to leave nobody behind. Yeah, last question by a lady, then I'm okay. Huh? Any lady, please? Yes.
hear all the stats that you shared, amazing journey by India. I see that over 1 million Indian students apply for the UPSC exam, spending an average of 1 to 2 years of their prime life for 1,100 seats. I see a stat that 1.8 million Indians spent close to $85 billion this year on studying abroad. I see a big gap in the lack of opportunities in education in India. Rohan Murthy spoke about that in terms of training and employability. What are your thoughts?
We have 1.4 billion people. 265 million children are in school, class 1 to 12. We got 43 million young people in college. 10 million graduate every year. Larger number of graduates are women for the last 3 years, which is very good. And our gross enrollment rate for young people in 18 to 23 is 28. We got to take it up to 50. We'll be 75 million young people in college in the next maybe 7 to 8 years. About 20% of our 1,200 universities are world class. Another 20% are good, others are not. No country has ever had 100% high quality education. UK has 100 universities. We check up how many of them are good. 20%, 25%. Bottom 25% are just community colleges. So we have the same challenges. It's going to take time. We lack money. We are a country of scale. There's no country of 1.4 billion people who have done what India has done and China has done. There is no precedent in the world. We are 20 times the UK. My state is equal to UK. 65 million people. We are 22 times the UK. And we are, I think, 3 times EU, 4 times America. So we have deep challenges. People are coming in, people are going. We have 16 million faculty. Can you manage 16 million faculty? We need another 1 million faculty. They're all growing. We got about 750,000 young people going. And honestly, I think of them, you must pardon me for this, 150,000 are gone for good education. They'll come back. They're in SAID, they're in Harvard and everywhere doing STEM. But the rest of them are gone for immigration. Many of them from the northwestern state, everywhere. They sell the land, go away to drive trucks or learn English or do something else, which is okay because they're seeking a better life. Can we provide a better life for everybody? No. It's going to take time. Nobody has a magic wand. We got to understand that. Nobody has a magic wand. And if anybody got a solution, come and do it yourself. That's what we say to them. We are struggling, we are doing well, we have grown very well, we have transformed India, we're transforming more of India, and we'll transform the world when everybody comes. Poverty has come down, deprivation has come down, people are in school, they're getting better health, they're living longer. A lot of good things are happening, and a lot of good things will happen in the future. Are we where we want to be? No. Are we going on the right path? Yes. Will we be there? Absolutely. The only question is when. And you are going to make it happen. Thank you.